Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to go through the items that you'll find in the course information / syllabus section of Brightspace. I'll go over the syllabus in just a moment, the course schedule, and I just want to talk about a couple other things you'll find in this area. So if you click on this link here, it'll describe how the course is organized, but I will also show you in this video. Class communication, I do prefer email, and really that's the only way for me to communicate with you in an online course, so it is imperative that you check your email multiple times per week. Any communication I have or questions I have on assignments, I will reach out to you via email. Setting up notification settings for Brightspace. So when I post announcements, announcements usually will be reminders on upcoming due dates, anything like that. Those will be viewable on the Brightspace homepage. However, what happens is a notification is sent to your email automatically, indicating that you have an announcement in the course. But you can change how your notifications appear. So, you may not want a notification for every little thing I post in the course. But again, if you just follow these instructions, it'll show you how to change that. Brightspace has an app. It's called Brightspace Pulse. So keep in mind that you can use the Pulse app to track your due dates, upcoming due dates, etc. What I don't think you can do there, what you won't be able to do, is complete your Zybook activities, complete your labs. You can't complete your quizzes. You'll have to do those on a computer and not on a mobile device. Setting up access to your book. I'll come back to the rest of this in just a minute. I want to go through the syllabus first. So let me go back up to the top. The syllabus is in Word, Microsoft Word format, or a PDF, whichever is easier for you. And I just want to point out a few important things. So it will talk about my office hours, but my office hours are posted on the Brightspace homepage along with my email address and a link to schedule an appointment. You also have my email address here. The book, as I said, we'll come back to the book in just a moment because there's some work you have to do on getting your book set up, and I want to show you what that looks like. Sending an email from Brightspace. I mentioned this in the previous video. There's an envelope up at the top in Brightspace. Let me just show you that. That's this guy right here. And once you choose email, you can go in there, find me, and then send me an email. That's one way. You can also email me directly at this email address. Okay. The course description. So this course goes through some basics on security. So it is hardware security, software security. It is physical security, so securing a computer room, for example, or securing an area. It covers all the material should you want to take a certification exam, the CompTIA Security Plus exam. You can Google that. You'll find some good information on that. It is pricey, but this course does cover all the material to help you prepare for that. I have multiple resources that I use in this course. The primary resource is going to be your textbook. It's excellent. It's very easy to use, and it covers material in a very easy to learn format. But there are multiple resources out there on the internet, and so I will share some of that with you. Okay, student learning outcomes. You can take the time to read through this. We do cover, all sorts of terminology related to security. We cover cryptography, as I said, application development security, physical security, risk management, a lot of those key terms. So you'll be able to understand better as the course goes on. The next important thing I want to point out is your grade. So your grade is split into 4 parts. Quizzes are 40% of your grade. And what I want to say about quizzes, I will keep them open for 48 hours, but they must be taken on the dates they are scheduled. I cannot accept quizzes late. We just keep moving with the material. So it's very challenging to, accept a late quiz and then for you to move on to the next module. It just becomes difficult as time goes on. 40% of your grade is made up of assignments. So the assignments come from what's called a Zybook. Your book is referred to as a Zybook. That's the publisher. It's an online e-text, and it includes short assignments throughout the reading that you'll need to complete, but it also includes lab assignments. And I will accept these up to 1 week late with a late penalty applied. Discussions. Discussions are 10% of your grade, and again, not accepted late on these. And the reason for the discussion not being accepted late is, again, because, you know, once someone has posted something and I ask you to reply to their post, if you go in late, it becomes irrelevant. And then finally, the final quiz. So the final quiz will be cumulative, and it's 10% of your grade. So keep that in mind as we move through. What did I want to say? There was something I wanted to say. I can't recall. If I think of it, we'll come back to it. Grading scale should look familiar to you, and what is expected of you. So the most important thing, I'm not even going to look at this, right? The most important thing is check your email and check your course schedule. Those are the two most important things. The course schedule is going to keep you on track. Make sure you're logging in. Make sure you take the time to read through this entire document. Okay, if you're trying to contact me, I'll do my best to get back to you within 24 hours, keeping in mind that I teach other courses, that I'm in the classroom during the day, that, you know, I have other obligations to the college and to my family on nights and weekends, so I might not be able to get back to you right away. Make a plan for a technical problem. So if you can't access the internet, what will you do? Make sure you have some sort of plan in place, whether it is that you can go to your local library. If you live close to the campus, maybe you can come in and use the campus computers, but think that through. This next part of the course syllabus under course policies here is pretty generic and applies to all of your courses. These are more of the college policies. I do want to point out some differences. Academic integrity. This is my policy here, right? So if a student copies an assignment from another student, both students will receive a grade of 0. I take this very seriously. With the use of internet resources, with the use of AI chatbots, you know, there's so much out there. But remember that your goal is to learn the material, and you're not going to learn the material if you're just Googling the answers to the quiz, right? And if I can tell that that's what's happening, I will challenge you on that, and I will ask you to explain yourself. Okay. The other things here, the use of D2L Brightspace, you know that by now since you're already in there. The Wolfpack, most of you students are second-year students, I assume, in this course, so you'll know what Wolfpack is. If you do not, click on this link here and you will get some information. Basically, the cost of your textbook is embedded in the cost of tuition. The book is mandatory for this course, so this is pretty immovable. If you need tutoring, you can use the ACE Tutoring Center, and the link to schedule an appointment will be under My SUNY Niagara here, right here, ACE Tutoring. Okay, I want to talk about your book. I have some information here in the course syllabus about your book, as well as in Brightspace. So if I go back up to the top, this mouse doesn't work great. Right here. So your book is available at zybooks.com, and it's called Principles of Computer Security. It's part of the Wolfpack program, as I mentioned. You can buy it directly. The direct cost is $99 for a single-term subscription. And keep in mind that it is mandatory for the course because a lot of assignments come directly from your book. That's 40% of your grade. So right here is information on how to get it set up. So you're going to sign in or create an account at this learn.zybooks.com. You should have received a code from the bookstore. The bookstore sends a physical code that will give you access. So you will need that. If you have not received that from the bookstore, let me know. I can help you track that down. You'll then enter the code for my specific course, and that's this right here. And again, I'll show you where that is in Brightspace. If you go back to course information, takes a minute, and then scroll down here, setting up access to your book. I have the exact same information right here. What I want you to notice is I have this video here. Watch the video. In the video, I explain the book, I open up the book, and I walk you through what the assignments look like. So make sure that you watch this. Okay. I want to point out a couple other things before I wrap up this video. And I'm going to switch to student view so that you and I are looking at the same thing right now. Okay, so it takes me back to the home page, and from here I'm going to go into the course schedule. So the course schedule is also found under course information / syllabus. I just thought this might be easier for you so you don't have to search for it. And what you'll notice is that assignments are due on Tuesdays. Discussions, the initial post is due on Fridays with the exception of the first discussion, and your response to a classmate is due on Tuesdays. Quizzes will be open Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Okay, and so here's the schedule right here. And so you'll see the module numbers here correspond to the chapters in your book. So the first chapter is called Introduction to Security. The second chapter is called Identity and Access Management. And so right here are the assignments. The assignments include the zyBooks modules 1 and 2, and that is to read modules 1 and 2 and to complete all of the participation and challenge activities. And as I said, I explained what those are in that other video. There are 2 labs in your book that are assigned for this module, and then finally a discussion to introduce yourself. And those are all due February 3rd. And if you look through the course schedule, you'll see that each chapter or module kind of follows the same format. Okay, so that's the course schedule. Let me go back home. And then lastly, modules 1 and 2. So when you go into modules 1 and 2, be sure to watch the video in the overview, and I explain what the assignments that are assigned are. And I think that's it. If there are any questions, please let me know.